ready to watch another fight, and it's going to be the last fight of the night. Thank you guys for joining in.
3 3-minute rounds?
3 3-minute rounds.
Emmanuel Perez, American kickboxing academy.
The fight I've been waiting for.
This is the bantamweight 209 beatdown title fight.
Belt fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your main event of the evening.
Let's go, baby.
This bout is brought to you by the Chicken Ranch Casino. Scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds in the bantamweight division. And once the action begins inside the cage, once again, your referee in charge is David Shirley. So now, ladies and gentlemen, let me hear you make some noise. It's time to go more! Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He is a freestyle fighter standing 5 feet 6 inches tall. He weighed in at 142.2 pounds. Fighting out of Jones MMA with a record of 2 wins with 1 loss. Both those wins coming by way of submission. Please welcome Francisco Killshot Campos. And his opponent fighting out of the red corner. He is a jiu-jitsu fighter standing 5 feet 5 inches tall. He weighed in at 140 pounds. Fighting out of AKA Tracy, California. Ladies and gentlemen, with a record of 2 wins, with 1 loss, one of those wins coming by way of knockout. He is Emmanuel Go-Getter Perez. And here to give the final instructions is David Shirley.
All right, gentlemen, we went over the rules in the back. Expect a clean weight fight. Then my commands at all times. Defend yourself at all times. Touch gloves down. Come out right in the back.
This for the JR promotion.
Stockton, California, make
Beatdown.
some noise!
Bantamweight
3 rounds
championship.
of championship boxing.
3 3-minute rounds.
Someone said finally no shin guard action. So in an amateur fight,
Did
here
he say
with Camo, when an amateur fighter has more than 3 fights, they're allowed to take off the shin guards.
Ooh, yeah. No shin guards. Ooh, good leg kick by Campos. Locks up the grip right next to us. Pulls him back, turns him. Lays him on his back right into dominant side control. Is Campos. Perez gets him back and gets him to full guard. Overhooking one side. Either 2 hands in or 2 hands out. Oh, he locks up a triangle. Campos doing a really good job of pushing that near side leg.
Armbar. He's looking for that armbar.
He's looking to chop that arm. He sort of has it up against the knee. Oh, locks up a triangle. Let's see if he can close it up.
He's got it, but the head's slipping out.
Campos doing a really good job of posturing up. Pushing the legs away now. Passes.
It's a great first round.
Perez has an awesome guard. Attacking fully.
He's got the leg on the bottom.
Perez attempting
Wow,
submission
Campos
after submission. And
passes. Traps the glove. Fully into side control is Campos. Tries to get into mount. Slips into half guard. Lands a shot or two. Drives Perez back onto his back. Right in front of us, a hammer fist does land Campos.
Perez is doing a really good job of keeping control of this leg to prevent a full mount from Campos.
Campos traps the arm. Now landing a couple shots.
Difference
Right next
between
to
a
us.
2 and a 3 minute round, you can tell that this extra minute definitely
Helps the action.
in grappling exchange.
Campos doing an excellent job using that head. Covering the mouth, smothering Perez. Good display of sportsmanship helping him up.
Great fight. Great first round. What's going to happen in the second, Steven?
We're going to have to see Perez make the adjustments and try to keep this fight on the feet. Although he was having success throwing up submissions and it looked like he may have had a couple in, I thought he did have the arm trapped in an awkward position, but ultimately Campos was able to fight off all the submissions.
These guys are evenly matched, and these are my favorite type of fights to watch. At least that first round kind of displayed Perez throwing submissions off of his back, and Campos a lot of pressure with his wrestling and jiu-jitsu.
Campos heavy pressure, heavy top pressure, landing the more significant shots. Perez attempting all the submissions.
Touch of gloves, round number 2.
Nice low kick by Campos. Ducks under. Presses Perez against the cage.
Good left hand by Perez, connected there as well at the same time.
He did. Perez needs to go backwards. Perfect. Gets Perez onto his back.
Well, back trip takedown by Campos.
Campos needs to get that hand off the mat.
Perez fighting off of his back.
Perez doing a really good job of overhooking that right hand of Campos. And now he could have an inside armbar. Almost triangle. Campos doing a really good job of applying top pressure to negate these submission attempts. Campos pushes Perez up against the cage. It'll take away that swinging momentum that he would need to either lock up a triangle or an armbar. And again, goes for it. Nice, gets right out of it.
Good job on Campos for recognizing that that was happening, getting out of that situation.
Campos staying on top of Perez.
And because these guys
Lands
are
a solid knee to the body while he puts him back onto his back.
because they're more experienced, I'd say this. I'd like to see Perez, rather than trying to shoot those submissions from the bottom, try to get up at this point.
Good control, good top control, good smothering control by Campos.
Campos winning the majority of round number 2 by his wrestling and jiu-jitsu.
Again, good knee.
Showing great technique.
Returns Perez onto his back.
Everything Campos is doing is so technical. Like even the way his hips are just transitioning in between, keeping his offensive pressure.
Perez uses the cage to get back to his knees. Campos doing a really good job of sprawling. Now he locks up.
The cage may be in the way of this. Falls over.
What kind of choke is this, Steven?
It's hard to see. It looks like it's an invert. It looks like an anaconda.
Good round.
Good round.
Dominant round by.
That could have been done if that cage wasn't in the way.
Really, for real though. Very dominant performance by Campos.
You've seen a little bit from Perez fighting back off of his back in the first round, not so much in the second.
Fatigue may be playing a factor.
Yeah, Perez is taking some deep breaths over here.
If it's the last fight of the night and it's the third and final round, I'm gonna turn it up. I'm gonna turn it up.
Turn it up.
Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise. Your third and final round.
Last one. Let's see if Coach Dominique's fighter can pull through. It seems like he will need a finish.
Tough 2 rounds. 6 minutes of just fighting back off of your back.
Seems like he's going to need a finish to take this belt back home. Third round underway. Glover's touch, meet in the middle. Hook
does
by
what he
Perez.
needs to do, and that's go for the knockout. Campos pressuring Perez against the cage. Round number 3. Perez desperately needs a knockout.
Or submission.
Campos' wrestling is fantastic.
Campos tying up one leg, trying to drag him back. Perez wise to it. Landing a couple of shots. Is Campos.
Perez needs a
Perez
finish.
reverses the position.
Wow.
Perez is gonna look to get that hook in.
Perez looking to get his far side hook in.
Landing some big shots from the top.
Campos doing a good job trying to get to his knees. Reverses position. Ends up on top. In half guard is Campos. Good job.
Scramble leads to Campos in this position.
Yeah.
Looking to advance. What does Perez need to do to get a finish right now?
He needs to lock up an armbar or triangle at this point because there's nothing else really he could do here.
And seeing how unsuccessful those were in the first round, he needs to get up at this point.
True.
I think Campos is just a very intelligent grappler.
Yeah.
Campos is just applying pressure.
It's a really
triangle base, head pressure.
The weight class? Do we have a weight class?
This is bantamweight.
Bantamweight. Campos doing an excellent job fighting off all submission
right here,
attempts.
he needs to get up here. This is where he shrimps that hip out and gets up.
Put those feet on
You'd
the
like to
hips
see-
and get out of there.
Yeah.
Perez, Emmanuel Perez, tired. Not as an active guard as he had in the first round. Referee stands him up.
This is the final round, so he'll definitely see why he did that. Wants to see more action.
Perez needs a knockout, and he's going for it.
Oh, Perez reverses position and hip tosses Campos onto his back.
But he's running out of time. He needs to get to work now.
Campos doing a good job of holding onto him. Turning, gives up his back.
Got his back, got 2 hooks in.
But trapping one arm, so negates the rear naked choke submission attempt. 10 seconds left in the round. This is it. Campos needs to go for it. Perez. Campos doing a good job of holding onto that arm, getting the choke position, and that's the end of the fight.
Gas tank might have played a huge
better round
part
for Perez, but Campos' wrestling was the deciding factor of this fight. The scrambles, a couple of them Perez ended up in a dominant position, but just for a couple of seconds, and Campos reversed. Great fight between these two fighters.
Good way to close off the night. Looks like it was dominant one way. Emmanuel did try his hardest in that last round to reverse position, to land shots, but ultimately it was Francisco Charles Campos closing up the distance, pressing Perez into the cage.
And it's no knock on Perez either. Obviously, a submission didn't happen from how dominant Campos was, so he was able to defend off his back, but still, it was a very dominant performance from Campos up top to be able to distribute his weight, hold Perez down, switch the position when needed.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it one more time for these two warriors. This bout goes all three championship rounds, so we go to the judges' scorecards where they all scored the same. 29-28 for the new 209 bantamweight champion. Out of the blue corner, Francisco